pizza. We're coming. I think we're coming. I will go one in the window. We're coming. I think we're coming back to Little Seoul. I'm gonna do this race shit.
Dude, we gotta enter. Where's your place? We gotta check.
Little Seoul.
We're coming back to the window. We're coming back.
Pretty sure I don't. I'm pretty sure I gave you the second one, right?
Will all gangs have to get their new spray? Well, it's gonna be whitelisted, so.
It though, right? You didn't use this, did you?
Yeah. Whoever does it will need a spray.
Yeah, you used one, and then I gave you another because I took one off Dundee. Remember? I think I gave you.
So we'll have to change up how the spray system works for gangs specifically a little bit.
All right.
Oh, my fault, Franny. My fault, Franny. I didn't.
What's the process for that? Be a gang in the city? Pretty simple, to be honest.
I tried calling Randy, but you know he's with Rachel and he's not answering.
More of these changes be implemented. We have a meeting on Sunday for devs, which is 2 days, basically. We'll work out, you know, where we're at. But I mean, I don't see it being ready in a week. But I still think, you know, this month is possible, I guess. But we'll see. I ain't gonna rush it, so it is a possibility of this month. But I want the next update to feel like an update that is like. Not just Little Seoul, obviously. There's got to be a lot, because everyone, I know Reddit and shit is just like, oh, just get a pocket owner so you get everything in Little Seoul. But there's a lot more to what's coming in the update than just the Little Seoul shit. And sort of the irony with it is everything in Little Seoul that we're adding is shit that's either already in the server and it's just being moved, or shit that was meant to be added like a year ago. So it's not like anything new is really happening. It's just actually happening, sort of thing. But I think majority of the focus being around like the drug game again and making that more lucrative with like mini heists between people will make one, less drug runs, which means less police being fucking annoyed by people sitting on Mount Chiliad. But it also creates it's like what people have had a quarrel with H&O and how it worked, but H&O makes too much money, but there's a reason why a lot of that money is put in my accounts because of that. But it also creates a lot of interaction and roleplay. Like, there's a reason people still need to boost cars, right? There's a reason people still have materials at $8 per, even though you know, there's a lot more people in the server. There's a reason people are getting caught by the police and shit like that, and other places are moving. Like VLC can sell cars, you know, they have to sell cars at autos or by hand. You know, there's the rental side of things, racing benefits from it. It's those systems that matter, not how the money is or where the money goes and all that shit so much. It does help, like, obviously, but it's what is created off it. And right now with the drug game, there's no trading drugs between people all that much. There is, like, we buy 100 quality meth. But those people that do have 100 quality meth, you can't be like, unless you're an organized gang, you can't be like some guy with a meth table that also does solo runs and shit like that. He now has to sell it to bigger gangs who have to get their trap houses set up. They have to pay the fees, you know, do all that sort of shit. And it creates roleplay from police that can actually investigate rather than, you know, get in a pogger's chase and hope that they catch somebody and then get yelled at because they went too hard or some shit. Yeah, I'm chilling. Yeah, it's yeah, there's a lot more to it on that level, but there'll still be those runs, by the way. They'll just be less frequent as well. But it's about the ecosystem more than anything else. And I feel like the meth tables and shit is a good concept. It's just the we were sort of lazy with the delivery on how we get the money, essentially.
Oh my god, you're so
I
hot.
want majority of
Catch
money
that as,
to
like,
go
an arrow,
through,
like an arrow to pull up somebody's ass.
yo, Zingu, bro, listen. You were literally what's wrong with chatters and Reddit and shit.
Okay, we just need some shit to take out the power.
You imply police are shit at doing investigations when the reality is criminals don't leave a footprint at all for criminal investigations to happen. Remember the start of 3.0, we had taxes, okay? Everybody fucking whined. That was the one way we could see fraudulent activity and have tabs on people making money and not, you know, not paying, not legitimately making money, not accounting for things. And all it did was get cried about. You can't bitch about police, okay? When criminals are crying and wanting to fast track everything themselves as well. It's just fucking moronic. The server meta is a server meta. It isn't one side. It's all adaptive to what happens in the server, and it's literally that simple. I know you groupies will watch a criminal and you'll hate the cops, or you'll watch a cop and you'll hate the criminals, but that's just some low IQ take shit, okay? You're fucking stupid, and I want you to know that.
Go 585.5, Franny.
Yeah.
Good city. I'd love to get out there. Whereabouts in LA? I don't actually see.
I mean, not West Hollywood, but I think
Have an explosive.
What's the game plan, bro?
go out there with
We need
somebody
to find a
actually
pipe bomb, C4,
Yeah, I
or
get you.
somebody who could shoot an RPG to take out the power. Then we can do a coke run.
Yo, fucking Sizzy
Coca-Cola.
did lots of shit.
Oh yeah,
Give-
McCool says he might have
Give
pipe bomb.
Scissoring, he's got fucking lots of shit, bro. He gets his hands on everything.
Well, it's not even about having to watch both sides. I don't think you need to watch both sides. You can see it on the stream. You know what I mean? Either way, I think people are just way too. I feel like even if they did watch the cops, they'd still agree with whatever streamer they watch, just because they're fucking, you know, literally sheep. Just how it is. I mean, everybody in the server adapts or reacts to what happens in the server, right? That's how simple it is. Whatever the mechanics are that we create as devs is what is going to be used and abused. And I think we've greatly, obviously made it better, but it just needs to keep going because we can like nurture roleplay to happen more just off the things we implement. And I think, honestly, the way the meth and stuff is now is good. How it's cooked and shit. It's just the runs that are sort of
Miguel, you have any rockets for that rocket launcher?
a bit resident sleeper.
Are they hard
Well, they're not resident sleeper. Like, they're good. They were good content. It's just like it doesn't add depth to everything. That's all. At least with the trap houses and, you know, gangs that will make it have more meaning. Because it's gonna, if you go and cook meth right now, you're gonna have to funnel your drugs up to a gang. Otherwise, you're not gonna make money. So you have to make connections and roleplay connections. So. Sent you a DM about Reddit module one and a bit ago about new one, possibly. Possibly is not really gonna help much, so.
please? Alright, Miguel's gonna see if he can get explosives.
Is there going to be a limited number of trap houses, or can gangs create their own?
Radio where we are.
No. So I think the general idea is, like I've said,
5.5.
basically, one spray can will take over this area. One spray can will take over this area, then this area, and you have to get a certain amount before you can have a trap house. So maybe it's 8 cans per trap house or something like that. So I'd have to essentially own this, and then I'd be able to place a trap house somewhere in here. Is how it will work. And the more you spread, we gotta have like I want this system to be pretty crazy, but pretty much when you pick your gang, okay? Let me explain this because it's pretty sick. like the extra ideas I've got for this. Basically, when we pick our gang, right, we gotta flag a certain type of AI, and that's why it needs to be whitelisted. We'll flag a certain type of AI, and then they're gonna start hanging out on the corners in those areas more. So Little Soul can actually spread to other areas, and you'll be able to see who's sort of controlling what area visually without needing like you know, any shit. So I don't know if the gangsters are going to be hanging around the corner here. Yeah, either way, you get the idea. They'll be hanging on the corners a little bit more. So the more I spread, the more I'm gonna have to keep my area filled with drugs and shit like that. I don't know how the degradation system will work, but essentially if you have a trap house here and you own this area, like eight things, if you don't maintain it, that entire area can become neutral, and then somebody can grab that, and then they have to start over. So it's not going to be as simple, and we got to have a limit to how many people can do this, by the way, in one group. So we can't have 500 people in our group. We gotta limit the amount so it's like, you know, not fucking stupid. Because obviously we have like fucking 40 people that could join. But there's gonna be some sort of like decaying system. So you can't just like, realistically, we cannot take over this entire city. Because it's gonna cost us way too much to keep the streets, the people hanging on corners in check. And they're the ones that will ring you when your shit's getting robbed, or, you know, prevent it from being robbed. And we might even go to the lengths of AI will turn on you and turn it neutral as well if you don't pay them enough and shit like that. And the more you spread, the more the multiplier goes up. So, you know, maybe owning four or 5 segments is good. But after that, it starts to become like, you know, a 24/7 thing that's going to be difficult to maintain. Bet you'll make a lot of money off it. But yeah, you get the ideas. And you've also got to remember, the more you own, the more you're going to have to deal with these drug dealers on the street, pay them off, go in the trap houses, fill them up with drugs, worry about being robbed more, which makes it so the police are more likely to see you doing this as well. So it increases the risk not only with other gangs, but it increases the evidence of what can happen with police as well. So they'll be seeing you going in and out of houses, handing off payments to gang members to look after your corners and shit like that. And yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it to the city though. Like maybe well, I mean, we could probably go the whole area, because if we can suppress the locals how they spawn and force certain AI to spawn, we can use the entire city for this. But in saying that, you can also do this, chat. You would do a spray here, take over this block. We don't need to touch this here, and then we can have another block up here. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to be touching necessarily to spread. You can have a key point as long as nobody's spread over there. So if we wanted to take over these guys, and we see them going up here, we could spray over here and then just take over this. And then we force them to be stuck in this area if they were pushing up there and we wanted to make sure we could get it. But they can also do the same up here. But when people do shit like that, you can take them over, you know what I mean? And that's where the hostility and shit will come in. But I think we need to make some rules. It seems like a lot of work for devs. Like, which part do you think is a lot of work? Like, making AI spawn on a corner and take money is very simple. Having a whitelist is very simple. The only thing that I think is a time-consuming task is lighting up the flag or the spray system to not overlap and shit like that. And even that I don't think is long. I really don't think it's as crazy as you think. A lot of it is just like automated that players don't really have to deal with.
Car actually drives nice too.